Hey, you guys, thanks for joining me again. This is Pain Salma 6 with another, it's not a movie review, but it's a Netflix series review. And forgive me for what I might sound like or what I might look like. But I just believe in being raw, and I just finished the Netflix series Extraordinary Attorney Woo. It is, I guess you want to call it. Wait, it's Korean. You can do English language, but it's if I tell you it's the most heart touching thing that it's one of the top most heart touching things I've ever seen. Honestly, probably because of my own experiences and where my heart is. So I seriously doubt it. I'm going to try to cover as much as I can. This is kind of one of those things where you can do in parts. And like I said, I'm just going to be upfront. I guess maybe it's for my my female listeners or audience. They tend to be more in touch with the more emotional feeling of things. So hopefully they'll be able to appreciate this. But when I tell you again, this just came out actually. It's from 2022, and Extraordinary Attorney Woo. It's the main character, Attorney Woo. Her name is Woo Young Woo. She's it's a Korean Netflix series, as I mentioned, but she is of the autistic, what do you call it? Autism spectrum disorder. And I'm gonna just, like I said, I'm gonna just try to let this come out. Otherwise, it just won't flow. So I have to just let this flow. I'm a protector, and I particularly women. Women get the crap of society, man. It's anyway, so yeah, I'm a protector, and I don't like bullies. I don't care what form of bully come in. I don't care if it's people. I don't care if it's fish. I get mad at my fish if one is pick on the other one or whatever. But in this case, when you live with something like autism, of course it's not an easy life, because what would seemingly be normal for your average person, or the better part of society is much more difficult. When you deal with and you live a life and someone who lives with things that make them stand out. That's take a look at our government, friends. You look at any movie that you've seen. That's the reason why if they could, even though it's not real, of course, but they'd catch Superman and they'd skin him alive and run all kind of tests, because by nature, especially in the United States, and people, they want to skin you alive, find out why you could fly, find out why you read backwards instead of forward, and find out why you like, just all kind of stuff. People can be so ugly, and it doesn't fail. Even the Bible talks about that. Like I said, I deal with reality, and if it's true, I'm going to say it, I'm going to share it, but the Bible does talk about that, and that all the evil and murder and all the wickedness and the evils of life comes from the human heart, drunkenness, lust, lying, all these things that plague our society, and not only our society, but the world in which we live in. And so, but nonetheless, this one is experienced in that as well. There's people who, because somebody's different, they look to compete, and so they can do some mean things. I'm looking at show you the cassette tape. That's old school. For people like, what is that on his shirt? but so people can be ugly, but also people can be beautiful. People could show kindness, and they can show love, they can show patience, and I couldn't even stop crying, man, especially when you get to a certain part, because like I said, I don't like bullies. And the thing about it is documents and stories that are, put together, like recently, and I'm going to do one on this one too. It's Best Men, the Forever, the later chapters, something like that just came out. That one didn't make me cry as much as this one, but the lessons and stuff like that, and the topics were so profound. And like I said, I'm going to do a review on that one as well. But this one is such a heart-touching series because of, again, because you follow the life of a young lady, and I don't want to give something away, but you follow the life of this character, attorney Woo Young Woo, and as I mentioned, she is an attorney is by title, but that's not, of course, that isn't really a person with autism, and as an attorney. And so, of course, that in itself is, this competition is big sharks, and, how do you fit in, and blah, blah, blah. And so, but nonetheless, the series and following this character was just, not only was she physically beautiful, but her heart is so beautiful. And I'm trying not to cry. There's so much ugliness in the world, man. What used to be off limits, it's not off limits anymore. Our kids used to be off limits. Women used to be off limits when it came to certain things. Now it's just, we've been duped, we've been tricked, we've capitulated and surrendered ourselves to whatever the wickedness of the imagination of our minds and hearts, has come up with. And it's so sad, man. It's so sad. I mentioned that the kids used to be off limits because, now with these, the school shootings, you got people like Balenciaga and, child predators and things like that. And our kids are no longer safe. They're trying to go into the schools and they want to teach them stuff they're not ready for, the stuff that should be the responsibility of the caregivers and particularly the parents of the children. And because of, I can't put it in any other way, but just the wickedness of human beings. Your sex life or whatever it is that you want to do, leave the kids out of it, and it's, there is an enormous price to pay for these violations. I don't mean in just civil law, or the courts and something like that, but people will have enough. Let's just put it like that. But nonetheless, back to attorney Woo Young Woo. She navigates and she finds love, and which you're rooting for a person who's going against the odds, and they have to go out into this ugly world, and you hope that they're safe. You hope that, just like in the movie The Joker, because people are looked up in a society. I don't know if you saw the movie The Joker. I'll just give you a piece of it. But these three guys, and I got to give you the facts, but 3 white males, 3 Caucasian Americans or European Americans, they are antagonizing this woman and basically kind of molesting her. And the Spanish word for bother is molest, by the way. They were bothering her, and they were, making her feel uncomfortable on the train. She was in New York. Not New York, Gotham. But nonetheless, so they're harassing her, and then, and something that the Joker does before he actually becomes the Joker, he changes. His circumstances change him into what he later became. But nonetheless, they began to then direct their attention away from the young lady who they were bothering and molesting and antagonizing onto him. And so they began to view him in the same light that many viewed attorney Woo Young Woo, as being different. So you're different. We're going to pick on you. We're going to bully you. And so they began. And so when he tried to kind of resist them to move away, they hit him and they started kicking him. And he didn't do anything other than be different. And just like, you got to see the movie, you got to see that movie. And one of my favorite movies are the ones that are just bathed and they're saturated and they're just filled with things that you can walk away from, like most sermons should be in church. Stop with all the hoop and the hollering and all this nonsense. I don't care where you get it from, even in classrooms. The problem is people in these positions have the opportunity to reach and touch the hearts and minds of people who are troubled and struggling with something and looking to make a bad decision or looking to make any kind of decision or trying to make ends meet or trying to figure out how I could just make it from one day after another. And I'm trying not to use the wrong word, but you waste that opportunity because you up there bloviating, or you want to talk about something like the Big Bang and daggum school, which is some of the nonsense they want to talk about. It's just and so, but nonetheless, what I'm trying to get to the point of, when you miss those opportunities, these people that you could have helped go into society, much like the person who shot JFK reportedly, because somebody didn't reach him. Just like in the Joker, they began to pick on him. And so I will say, fortunately from him, I guess you second right, I should say not you, but people who, can go along with the Second Amendment, a constitutional right to defend yourself. He had a gun on him and he shot all three of them. But when it came time for the news to air, they aired it as all, some clown, some dude dressed as a clown and makeup, that he killed these three innocent, hardworking, Caucasian American, or European American individuals. But they were, again, the antagonists. They were the ones committing the crime and the violence. So don't be so duped, get the whole story. But nonetheless, again, we have to be careful about these kind of opportunities to show kindness, to show love. It's not just a motto. Stop putting that junk on your IG. If you're not going to mean it, then don't put it on there. Just be for real. If you want to be a turd, a hard, drippy, wet turd, like Naruto said, then just be a turd, whatever, man. But try to show some love. Try to show some kindness. We don't have to have a September 11th or January. I don't know. I'm sorry, not even January 6th. But some kind of catastrophe to happen in our country to then try to bind together. Let's not forget, what this is all about. It's about each other, showing love and kindness toward each other. And that's the reason why you can't believe in things like the Big Bang, because Big Bang says you don't have any, intrinsic value. You just happen to show up one day because boom, and then here you are. Believe that crap. I give you something for that. Anyway, somebody told me that their teacher, and I'm gonna leave it like this. But somebody told me their teacher was teaching the Big Bang in school, and I'll tell you what I told him. I said, and I was actually pretty ticked off about it, if you want to know the truth. But nonetheless, said that. They got time to teach that crap. I said, if you believe that, I suppose that Thanos and the Avengers are real. And I said, if I was in that classroom, I'd tell them, because this is a male teacher. I said, yeah. So imagine, this teacher comes home and his wife, he walks into his bedroom and his wife is butt naked with some other man in the room. And her excuse is, baby, I don't know where this man came from. He just came out of nowhere. And he showed up and told my drawers off. My breast was in his mouth, and I'm gonna just keep it, polite. My body parts was in his mouth, and all this stuff that's on my face and that belonged to him. You know what I'm talking about? That's the kind of nonsense that you say. The reason why, because if it's true, if the Big Bang is true Sunday, it's supposed to be true Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So if it could happen then, why can't it happen now? That just goes to let you know that that's a lie. And so you try to tout and share that nonsense and that mess. So, but nonetheless, though, you got to see attorney. Well, at least if you're, I just believe it's worth it. I give it a 10, man. I give it way past a 10, an extraordinary attorney Wu. Like I said, I just finished and I just wanted to give you my raw, uncut feelings about it. And I love it. I love it so much. I'll probably rewatch it at some point. But yeah, so again, all thumbs up for me. I'm so in love with Attorney Wu, and I love anybody who'll stand up for somebody who's being bullied. And there were some changes of heart. That's the reason why you have to hopefully you can work with people and not just beat them down, because some of these people who at one point, are on the side of the wrong, there could be some circumstances and experiences that they could have, even like in the movie Radio, where the one people who are once bullies, if you allow some circumstances and God to work, then those very people could be on the right side and do far greater good, rather, because sometimes beating them somebody down physically ain't always the answer. There has to be a change of heart. Remember that show, The Change of Heart, you got. But anyway, didn't want to make this too long. Please like, subscribe, share it. It would mean so much. Just share it. You know, it's I would really appreciate it. These come from the heart, and I love doing these. You know, try to do what I can and try to add to society, and I'll just go from there. But anyway, let me know what you think. Leave a comment, and tell me if you've watched it and how you felt about it. If not, and again, forgive my voice. I coach basketball, and I yell at the kids. So anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much. All right, have a good day. Later.